This is in continuation of our previous slides. We have already discussed the strain energy concepts. Now let us go to the application part of strain energy. Here in this topic, we will discuss different methods for calculating deflections, deformation, etc. They are based on strain energy. So simply they are called as strain energy methods. One of the very important strain method is the principle of conservation of energy, which, which is nothing but work done by the loads is equal to change in energy of the system. So that is summation half W delta is equal to the total change in strain energy. If it is from starting, that is 0, the total energy stored is also be equal to the change in strain energy. The second important part of this is virtual work principle, which is defined over here. That is external work done by virtual force delta F in moving a real amount of deflection delta in direction of the force is equal to the work done by the virtual forces. See, the nature of the force and the direction of force must be compatible with the deformation. That is, deformation must be of the type of force and must be in the direction of force. Then we can define very well the principle of virtual work. According to principle of virtual work, the total virtual work done by a set of forces in undergoing set of displacement is 0, subject to the following condition. Means work is nothing but force into displacement. If the force is virtual, the total work done will also be 0. So the conditions are given here. Either the set of forces or set of displacement is virtual. Either of the two is virtual. The total work will be equal to 0. And the second condition is the set of forces, real or virtual, is in equilibrium, and set of displacement is compatible with the given conditions or given constants or boundary condition. So if the displacement is 0, whatever is the force, the multiplication of the two will be 0. So the principle is now simplified, that is the total work done will be equal to summation pi delta, where dash means virtual. Wherever the dash is applied is virtual. Here virtual force is shown. This can also be defined another way when the displacements are virtual. The second very important theorem is Cauchy-Lewis theorem, which is defined over here. That is, in a linearly elastic system, the partial derivative of the strain energy expressed in terms of any displacement at a coordinates is equal to the force at that coordinate. So rate of change of strain energy with respect to displacement is at any point is nothing but the force at that point. If the point is I, at ith point the force applied will be equal to the derivative of the strain energy, rather partial derivative of the strain energy with respect to the displacement at that point. Suppose U contains both P and delta, like P1 delta 1, P2 delta 2, P3 delta 3. The derivative with respect to any point 1, 2 or 3 will give you the point, the load applied at that point. Similarly, the second thing is just vice versa of this. The rate of change of strain energy with respect to the force at any point will be nothing but the deflection or deformation at that point. This may be elaborated in some other. This was the basic theorem given by Cauchy-Lewis, but now these theorems have been extrapolated for every type of forces. For example, the force may be a simple force P, it may be a moment, it may be a shear, it may be a torque. So if the same will be, the deflection will be of the type of force. For example, we have the moment, here will be the slope or rotation. If the force is torque, the slope will be the twist. This deformation will be the twist. If there is a shear force, this will be shear deformation. So next in between it has become simple examples of calculation of strain energy. Our main part is on the next slide. This again, the Cauchy-Lewis theorem has been defined in mathematical form, and I have taken examples here. How will you apply this Cauchy's theorem? Suppose strain energy is defined as p square upon 2e integrated over the length in a direction x. The derivative of this strain energy with respect to the force at any ith point P must be delta at that point or differential at that point. This is according to Cauchy's theorem. So if we differentiate this equation with respect to P, it will become P square will be 2P and the derivative P with respect to Pi, that is the force at ith point. So the equation has been changed from this to this one. Differential point I will be equal to P upon AE derivative P with respect to P at ith point over the integration over the direction x for the whole length. But mind it, the strategy is to be taken the total one. So in case of bending, suppose when bending energy is there, this equation will be replaced by this mx upon ei del mx upon del pi. Now if the moment is due to the transverse load P, then we can take the derivative with respect to P. If the moment, if suppose this kind of beam is subjected to only moment, the derivative may be taken with respect to moment instead of P. But in that case, the diffraction delta will not be the deflection, but it will be the rotation at that point. So P is the transverse load. It means deformation must be in the direction of P, that is the vertical deformation or vertical displacement of the point free end will be defined by this. If there is a moment applied, it will directly give you the value of the slope at this point. So the deformation must be of the direction of the type of force applied. So moment, this equation is delta is changed with theta at this I point will be equal to theta I will be equal to del u upon del mi, and it will give you the slope at this point. So this further has been defined. I have taken suppose this subject to P only, so we have to find out the delta or the vertical deflection. Your question will be like this. Next, suppose there is simply supported beam is subjected to point load at the mid span. Your all this the moment. How do you calculate the deflection at any point? Say the midpoint C. What we have to do is we have to use the again this equation. Delta at I point will be upon ei mx d. What is mx? Because we have to integrate over the whole length L, and here if you draw the bending moment diagram, it will not be a single curve, but it will be a double curve from here to here, maximum value, and then like this one. Therefore, we cannot integrate. We cannot integrate from 0 to L, but we have to integrate 0 to L by 2 and twice of this. So this has been solved here. Similarly, we have taken another example. Suppose we want to know the deflection at quarter span at point D. Now see, in this case we are supposed to find out the deflection at this point where the P was there. If the load is not there at that point where we want the deflection, what we have to do is we have to assume a fictitious force. We have to assume a fictitious force at that point where we want the deformation. So we have assumed a fictitious force PO at point D. We can also call this PD or whatever it is. Now, everything that reaction etc. we have to find in terms of this PO also, because this we have applied. Its mind its value is 0, but its effect will be there after integration at suitable point. We will put the value of PO as 0 because it is a fictitious force. We have applied it, virtual force. Now what we have done, after applying this one, we find out value of reaction at A and B. RB will be P by 2 plus PO by 4, and R will be equal to P by 2 plus 3 PO by 4. So if we take the bending moment will be varying from here to here, then from here to here, then from here to here. So there will be 3 different cross section taken from here to here, A to D, D to C, C to B. So the integration has been done in 3 parts. This is part A, part B, this is from A to D, D to C, and C to B. For every part AD, BC and BC, AD, DC and CB, we have formed the equation for MX, and the derivative of MX with respect to PO. MX derivative of MX with respect to PO. MX derivative of MX with respect to PO. And now we have substituted these value in this equation. Directly we will get the answer. Another example, we have taken a simple supported beam subjected to UDL. There is no point load at all. But suppose we want the load, we want differential at point C. We have to assume a fictitious force here, whose value afterward will be put at 0 as we have done earlier. Now, after applying this PO, we have to find out the direction at point A and B. R and RB both will be equal PO by 2 plus WL by 2. Now, we will integrate in two parts from A to C and B to C or C to B. Both will be same, therefore we have taken twice of this, and we only integrated from A to C only because the diagram is symmetric about C. So, for example, the moment at any distance x from here will be equal to nothing but the reaction RA into x. RA is P by 2 plus WL by 2. So into x will be equal to WL by 2 into x plus P by 2. P is already 0, we have not taken into account. Minus W square by 2 into dx, your answer will be like this one. Suppose in the same beam we want rotation at point B. So because for vertical deflection we applied a vertical load at point C. For rotation at point B, we need a rotation, we need a moment applied this. This will be called as fictitious moment or virtual moment, imaginary moment applied. Now mind it, the direction of the moment is clockwise. Your answer of theta will be with respect to the direction assumed for the applied moment. The moment may be here applied moment, the real moment or the virtual moment, whatever is the applied moment. The direction of suppose for example your answer of theta comes out to be negative. It means what? It means that the slope here or the rotation at point B is opposite to the direction of the moment applied. So this we have done already. Now if you draw the bending moment diagram, it will be uniform curve. So therefore we have taken only one integration from A to B directly, 0 to L we have taken. The moment at any section here will be RE into x minus W square by 2, we have substituted the value. Mind it, when we find out the value of RA, the value of MO will, the moment here, though it is fictitious moment, its value will be counted, and therefore reaction at A and B has effect of MB also. If this moment is the virtual moment, its value will be put at 0 after in this integration sign, and your answer will come out to be theta is this. See here, theta is minus. It means the real moment, the real rotation at B will be anti-clockwise, that is opposite to the moment assumed. So this minus sign indicates, negative sign indicates that direction of the slope theta B is opposite to the direction of fictitious moment MB. Next. In this I have tried to solve the problem of a frame, cantilever frame we have taken example. And instead of writing these things directly in the equation, we have also tabulated our answers of integration etc. in a tabular form. This is mostly followed by engineers. What we have done is for part AB, the moment equation is written. For part BC, moment equation is written. We can also likewise find the derivative of the moment here and here, and the range of x is also there. What do you mean by range of x? It means this moment mx is applicable from A to B, that is from 0 to 1.5 meter, and BC if you take so this part AB and part B. So let us start from here. We want suppose delta at A. So we have to see, suppose we want deflection at point A, we have to see whether the load in this direction is vertical direction, the load is there or not. If there is no load, then we have to assume a fictitious force. For vertical deflection at A, assume a PO at A. The value of PO is 0. You will see that your answer is not in the form of PO. Similarly, we want to know the slope at A, we have to assume a fictitious moment at A, and likewise we have to complete. So summation of these two parts is nothing but integration for part A to B and part B to C, and this must be deflection, as the same table can be repeated to find the slope also. These are table for deflection, we can also make a table for slope. This is another example. See, we want to find out the reaction at, this is another application of Hist energy method. The principle least work is followed. So see, at this point B, there is a support. It means the deflection at this point, vertical deflection at this point is 0. Suppose for a moment we assume RP is the acting force. So derivative of the force, derivative of the strategy with respect to force must be the deflection at that point. But we already know that the deflection at this point is 0. Therefore we can put it 0. So the strategy may include the unknown value of the force RB. After solving the equation, the unknown RB will be solved. So this we have done here. This was subjected to UDL. We have taken section at A. The moment here will be equal to RB into X minus WX by 2. RB into X minus W. This RB we keep it as it is because this is unknown value. This we have to find out. So Mx will be equal to this one. Derivative of Mx will with respect to RB will be X. Therefore delta at B, which is already known to us, that is 0, must be equal to derivative of this partial derivative of the strain with respect to RB, which is Mx del Mx over del RB into dx is to the value of Mx also like this, and find out the answer. Because they are already 0, RB will be solved, your answer will be RB. When you substitute the value of RB, RA will be equal to the total load applied minus RB. So this one example we have taken. So we can do several examples. This is all about this. So let us stop.